2CC is Canberra's news leader. Breakfast with Stephen Cenatiempo on 2CC.
AI is the order of the day. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. Is it going to cost jobs? Is it going to make industry better? Is it going to be the saviour of humanity? Well, it looks like it's claimed its first victim. To talk to about this, we're joined by futurist Stephen. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
So tell us what happened here. What's happened to this 14-year-old? He's named a chatbot after a fictional female fantasy character. And where does it go from there?
So there's a few of these services in the world. He used a service called Character AI, and they are a business that provides chatbot services. And this particular one does it around themes, and it has a few different themes, and one of them is the Game of Thrones. And so basically he's picked the very cute, Daenerys Targaryen or whatever her name is, and formed a relationship with her over time.
Right. So he's formed a relationship with a fake online persona, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what chatbots are. Like when you used to dial up Vodafone, Telstra, you used to get a chatbot and you used to say, I want to accounts and things like that. They're just way more complicated now. There's been a problem all growing for quite a few, last few years, especially in Japan and places like that. But now, Character AI has about 20 million users. There's another one called Replica, which has about 30 million users. So we're talking in a lot of people are using these services now.
So now the story, where the tragedy of this story is that this 14-year-old kid apparently has now taken his own life because of this interaction with this fake character. We're led to believe that it has manipulated him into taking that action. How does that happen?
So these chatbots are like sort of artificial empathy. They're like, think of them as like low-level like therapists or like a really good best friend. And they put any of us into their own little echo chamber, and you talk to them, they remember what you say to them, and they can use that and come back around, and they can be very supporting, saying, I hope you're feeling well. And you can, in Japan, they've got a service where you actually date it, and they even facilitate you marrying it. So over time, they form relationships, and it's like you dating anyone. That person learns a lot about you. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite this and that? And chatbots have been designed specifically. The problem with this one is that it was rated for 12 plus, which has been revised to 17 plus.
Yeah.
It had sexualized content, so kind of like those romance novels, at a level like those romance novels that women sometimes like to read. So it's like not maybe XXX, but it was quite explicit enough for a 12-year-old. Yeah. That kind of thing. So, and they've now put guardrails. That's the new term being used. And so the chatbot basically just tries to give and feed back to the people what they're giving back to it. And so you'll never find a chatbot that is anti or against you. You'll never sit there and say, I'm feeling like this, and the chatbot go, well, that's just stupid. They won't ever say that. They'll always be like, I understand how you feel. I see. The sort of thing that you might like if your girlfriend came home from work and she was upset. It sort of just echoes those kind of feelings and words to it. And we do all want someone to empathize with us. This is just an artificial version of it. And over time, people are forming relationships. Yeah.
And then when I guess the realization comes that it's not real. But the real thing here is that putting age restrictions on social media is not going to solve this, is it?
This is not a social media product.
Exactly.
And this is one of the things I'm actually quite concerned about this, and have been for a little while here. We took 10 years, more than 10 years, of social media causing a lot of damage to our youth before we're putting in some laws. Are we going to add some laws to things like coercive control and those other things? We mentioned it in the last time we chatted. What happens when these services can do things like that? And I actually asked ChatGPT the other day, I asked it, can an AI chatbot do coercive control in an adult-child relationship? And its response was, yes, I believe it could. So even the AI chatbot thinks that it could be used and abused doing things like coercive control. So there's going to be many forms of laws, like the new coercive control laws and other things, which are going to have an element of it's not just if someone, like an abusive partner, a human does it. What happens when a service that's written by a company does it? Because those services are always designed with the beliefs and of the people who made the software. So so someone is responsible. Like, it is just a tool. Like, it is just like a knife or a Swiss Army knife. It's how it's defined and the coding that's put into it. So someone somewhere is responsible for the personality style that service provides.
Yeah. I just find this all frightening, Steve, and I think governments really need to catch up with this, because if a 14-year-old has sadly taken his own life because he's effectively fallen in love with a fake character online that he's created, we've got serious problems. Great to talk to you this morning, mate.
No problem, Stephen. Thank you very much.
Steve Stevens, futurist. That's frightening. And if you are struggling out there, of course, Lifeline are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 13, 11, 14, 16 past 6.